Hi guys, this is just a heads up on how to use Anchor in your classroom. And while we will be having a PowerPoint that goes along with this, some people are more, need to watch it again to remember things. So Anchor is a free website. It is great for the students. It is still student friendly. So I've already created an account, but if you did not create an account, you create an account with Google. So I had the students create it with their student Google account, and that was perfect. So I just clicked on my name and it brought me into my Anchor account. Now, it's going to say you're going to have the word dashboard, you're going to have episodes, you're going to have money. Of course, we're not putting any money into this. You're going to have new episodes and settings. If I wanted to make my very first podcast, I could go to Let's Do It. Now, I've already created a podcast. But if I hadn't created a podcast, I could go to record and I could hit start recording and I could start recording my podcast. I just created one on how to integrate it into the classroom and go from there. So I'm actually going to pull it from here. I, of course, did this on 11/16. So this is the one I just created, 7 minutes. If I'm making multiple, I could definitely come over here to this little edit button and I could edit it if I wanted to. Um, Once again, I've only made one to play around with it and show the kids how easy it is to use. So right over here, you're going to see the word click and upload to drag files. And I'm literally going to drag my podcast over. Now, of course, I'm not going to want people to hear this episode or get paid for it. I'm not into that right now. Maybe if I become, an expert at something and want my voice heard, but at this moment, it's perfect. If I want to add music and I have a Spotify account, I can add music to before or after. If I want to add messages to ask the listeners to send something in and you mention a link, you can add it to that. Or I can add transitions. And so I think I like this one for my very end of mine. It ends it, it completes it. So I'm just going to drag and drop it. This will put it in this order. Does that make sense? So this will be first, and this will then end my podcast. Um, if I wanted that first, or actually, I like that. I'm going to put that very first before my podcast. So at this moment, I've just dragged and dropped, and you can listen over here to your music or things. So this is going to play first. And then, of course, it would start my podcast. And then if I wanted to conclude it, that's how I would conclude it. Now, I can add background music if I choose. I can come over here and I want it to be, no. And so I think I like this one. I'm going to come over and click it. And it's only going to play in the background of my podcast. So I just added music. I just added sound effects to it. Okay, it's going to take a minute to process. Okay. So right now my entire episode is 7 minutes and 21 seconds with my 2 extra sounds plus a little bit of that music here. I'm going to hit save episode. I'm going to call this podcasting for the classroom. Okay, and then I'm going to describe it. Listen to a first-time podcaster who integrates this in to the classroom. Okay, and I can always come back and tweak that if I want. I'm going to call this season 1, episode 1. You don't have to put that there because this might not be, I might not continue this. It's clean content. There's no explicit in there. So you would just, of course, leave it clean. You would hit publish now. Now, it doesn't really publish it yet. The kids all think it's publishing it. My podcast name, I think I'm going to be called, I'm going to call it Classroom Podcaster. Okay, that's my podcast name. Description of my podcast, how to use podcasting in the classroom. No, I did not go into as much detail as I would normally. This, you can choose what it is. This is an education one right here. Of course, it's in English. Okay. And I'm going to hit the word continue. Okay. Now it wants me to search for a photo. I could upload a photo. I could choose one from me. I'm not going to be too picky. I'm going to upload one, but I don't like that background. So what happens if I don't like this background? So you come down here and I'm going to just type in school. Let's see if school pops up. And I'm going to click on, let's click on this one. No, let's click on this one. And so I picked my topic. I picked my thing. I can edit if I want more of that to be seen, the apple, or I want the blocks to be seen. I'm going to pick more of that. So you can slide this over and drag and drop it to get the best visual that you would like. Okay. I'm going to hit continue. It's going to take a second. It's going to pop up with Classroom Podcaster. I can change my font to being any font that I would like. Let's choose this one. I can change my color. I can change the location. So I like that font. I like the color, but it's too light, right? I could move it to the top. I can move it to the bottom. You can't really see it. The top, I kind of feel like I need a gray. Maybe not. Maybe a darker gray. Maybe a purple. No, maybe a green. I could come over here and change my color. I want like a blue. Oh, that works. And I can leave it like that. Okay. It's going to use that color. I'm going to hit update cover art, of course. It's going to take a second to update. And it's going to say Redistribute Podcast. The kids have to click on Redistribute Podcast. Otherwise, it will not let you send the link. Okay. You hit OK. Thank you. Over here is where you're going to get a link. And then this is the link that they can put into Canvas. Okay. Of course, I didn't encourage Facebook and I didn't encourage Twitter. But then I can always come over here and check to see how many people have watched it, what it looks like. If I wanted to create another one, I could just come up to new episode and go through the entire thing again. I don't know if I will do another podcast called Podcasting in the Classroom, but I will definitely be playing around with it. It does save your podcast right here. So you can see this one was prior to adding all of those musics and those sound effects, was right here, is the one that we ended up going with by adding that music to it. And this is the one where's the original. If I wanted to edit it, I could come over here and click on the edit and I could type in podcasting original 1. I'm going to put 01 because episode 1, series 1. Okay. If I want to click over here, I could download the file. I could delete it permanently. I can add it to an episode. Same thing here. I can delete it and I can play around with it. That's the big thing. Click and play. If I go to my settings now, I am now called Classroom Podcaster. So when you choose your name, that becomes your name for podcasting. I told the kids not to add their first name or their last name because that's not what we are encouraging. So I hope that kind of helped you a little bit. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and I will definitely try to help with everything I can. You can click on dashboard it might not give you as much that you're looking for, but here is mine. It's available on 2 platforms. It is a public site, um, but the kids would have to Google to know what my title is called. So therefore, I can do that. I can go back. It tells you exactly how to set it up. I can go to my episodes if I had more than one, and it tells me exactly how many times people have played it, the length of it, etc. Money you don't need, but this is if you chose to get sponsors for a personal podcast, not necessarily for the classroom, but a personal podcast. You could activate some sponsors and try to get matched up with people. So hope that helps. It is a free website, which is the nice thing. So we definitely can use it in the classroom.